tuning in to watch this video. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for new punk rock videos every week and tap the bell to get notified when new videos drop. Hi, my name is Erin Micklow, and I'm here with Cheat Codes. Introduce yourselves.
Yo. Hey, what up? I'm Kevy.
Hey, I'm Matt.
And I'm Trevor.
And we're Cheat Codes.
Oh my God, yeah, exactly. Powers unite.
We usually nail that in sync, but it's been a while. We're a little rusty.
So wait, is this your first show back in a while? No, you guys have been doing shows.
We did a lot of shows, yeah.
We played Memorial Day weekend in Atlantic City. And
that's awesome. And so obviously tonight we're here in Vegas for everyone watching, and you guys are playing 2 nights here, right?
No, just tonight.
Is that correct?
Just tonight.
No, just tonight.
Why did I see that?
We were originally playing tomorrow, and they moved it to today a few weeks ago, so you probably saw those 2 dates. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, so just a few days ago, you guys dropped part 3 of what is technically your debut album. I mean, you guys have had a ton of releases, but you guys are calling this your debut album. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
So can you talk about, part 3 and how it's different from parts 1 and 2?
Right. Of course. Well, yeah, we kind of wanted to go more with our typical Cheat Code sounds, like dance, pop, and part 1 was more pop, and part 2 is more like pop punk mixed with hip hop. So we wanted to do 3 parts, all different genres and all different vibes. So part 3 collaborated with a lot of DJs that, we either look up to or just have been friends with for a while. So we got to collab with TV Noise and Martin Jensen and Felix Jean, just to name a couple. And yeah, it's been really fun.
You got anything, Kev?
No, I mean, yeah.
You looked like you wanted to say something.
No, I'm just touching on what he said. It's been it's been an awesome journey for us. Being able to put out we did 3 albums in 12 months pretty much.
Yeah.
So being able to do that, it's really cool. And now the dance part is out, so we're really hyped.
Yeah. Well, so can you talk about, I saw on your guys' TikTok, the Caroline hard drive that made it as a song on part 3. Can you talk about, was this a real thing or did you make it up?
Yeah, so I don't really understand all that, to be honest.
That was more of just a fun thing on TikTok.
I was like, is this a publicity stunt to promote the album?
I don't even really understand. That's
I'm just saying I don't even know how computers work, so you have to ask one of these guys.
It was smart though because I was invested in the story. I was like, did they find this lady?
Yeah, you never know. We leave it up to for interpretation.
Sometimes we hear ideas song ideas and we don't even know who the artist is.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just luckily we have good management because we're like, who is this singing? This sounds good. That's actually Icona Pop. You should read the emails that we send you. And we're like, oh, sorry.
Talk about how the idea for that came, of how you're just cool, this is going to be a really sick way to promote this single.
Right. I think just
you painted the hard drive and everything. You put some effort into this.
Yeah. You gotta make it. You gotta go for it. When you're doing these TikTok campaigns, you gotta be creative nowadays.
I think it's more just showing, how you're kind of putting it together and starting with the acapella, and then a lot of times that we do start with the vocal like that and then build the production around it. So yeah, I mean, a little behind the scenes, how we normally make a song, and we got to do it with Icona Pop, who they're kind of legends in the dance world anyway. So
yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah,
it's a good song. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, so obviously, let's talk about part 2 with the crossover. That's something that, you know, my audience watching this would be more in tune with. You've collaborated with artists like Travis Barker, Bring Me the Horizon, All Time Low, All American Rejects. Like, can you talk about that? Because I like how all 3 parts of your debut album are, like you said, different. They represent different genres.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, all those artists are like people that we've grown up listening to, and like kind of like people like Blink-182, Travis Barker, you know, like for me was one of the reasons I got into music when I was 12, you know, and started picking up the bass and guitar and drums and kind of diving in. So all 3 of us, you know, love pop punk and that and all that stuff. And growing up, we went to those shows, and so it was really cool to be able to like work with people that, you know, really influenced as musicians and make some music with them. And we've always wanted to be able to just blend different genres together, and you know, whether it's an alternative artist or a pop artist, whoever, we just want to make something different. And with the Hellraisers album, it was definitely an opportunity for us to kind of show what we're able to do on the production side, and just you know, just show how versatile we are between the 3 of us.
Yeah, I think working with different genres too, it's always, you don't really know what to expect when it's like, oh, we're kind of diving into pop punk, like how they're going to put together songs or how their ideas are going to be. So like Tyson Ritter, for example, we started working with him, and he was like, I want to direct the video. And we're like, what? I like never worked with an artist before that was like, I have a vision. I must put my hands in the clay. Let me. We're like,
what
okay.
is it like normally then?
Do we have a director? We have like somebody else direct
He directed the whole thing.
Yeah, he did like
everything.
everything.
Yeah, he's
Came up with the whole idea, like director. We were like, okay, you know, you like know him from his music videos of like all the American Rejects, the hits they have, and then you meet him in person. And you're like, oh, this is why this guy is like successful artist, because he's eccentric and he has creative ideas and he just believes in his ideas. So those kind of experiences are cool. And then with Ollie Sykes from Bring Me the Horizon, that was really interesting too, because you know, all the music that I know of his band is him screaming, that's very heavy like metal, and then we kind of had this melody idea, and he brought out his vocals where he's actually singing, and it's kind of like I haven't really heard that many records, if any, where he was doing that. So to kind of get something where he's experimenting on his sound combined with ours was really cool. So yeah, just peel back like what they're willing to do and what their process is like is always interesting.
Well, so for you guys kind of coming into the crossover genre in that way, you know, you've always been into like the dance music, and you were a singer-songwriter when you started. How did you get with those artists? Because that seems like that's a bit different for you guys.
Right. We know some of them like just from the scene, like Trevor knows like his brother-in-law is actually in Forever the Six Kids, which is like a big pop punk band back in the day, and we know some of those guys. We've kind of been homies with Mark Hoppus as well. We didn't know Travis Barker before that, but just reaching out honestly and sending a lot of tracks, and a lot of these guys are kind of stoked to experiment with their sound anyway. So like when Trevor first started working with us, he was doing acoustic music, and even for him to do cheat codes, he wanted to experiment. He wanted to add electronic stuff, which at least for acoustic singer-songwriter was like breaking the rules, you know, like, I don't know. So some of these guys, they want to be able to step out, and if you can collab with cheat codes, then it kind of gives that excuse, like maybe your fans hate it.
Yeah.
But it was with cheat codes, so it's fine. Like I remember we did the Bono remix, and there were so many people that hated. Honestly, they hated on it hard, because like those fans they love rock music. Yeah, U2, they love rock music. They're like, what is this? What is electronic? They don't get it. So some artists, it's risky for them to do, and others are like, man, I've been doing like heavy metal for 6 years, 6 albums, however long. I want to branch out and try something different. So.
So I watched another interview, and the way that you guys were always friends, and that's how you met, and like it was, and then you two met in court. Is that right?
We didn't meet in
LA
court,
County.
but we became friends in court.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sued somebody.
Yeah, you were
They
so,
won.
and so when the two of you met, you had been friends for a long time, and it was that you were doing your singer-songwriter thing, and then you were like, you had a new project. Can you talk more about how the three of you came together?
Yeah. Go ahead, Trev.
Touching on what you just was just saying. I was done doing acoustic music and wanted to do something different, and I had been living with Matt off and on a few different times, and came down to LA and was working on my own thing, and they are working on cheat codes. So Matt called me one day and was like, "Oh, you got to meet this guy, Kevy. Like, we got to do some music together. This guy's awesome." So I remember going down a few months later. I moved in, and one day we got together and started making some songs, and just felt really natural. And we went from there. And the first day we got together, we actually made the first song that we ever released as cheat codes, called Visions. So
Yeah.
just kind of felt very natural.
Yeah. Now 5 years later, here we are.
Yeah, or I guess like 7 years.
7 now?
Yeah.
Holy
I'll take
shit.
5 though. That sounds
Yeah,
nice.
5. That sounds
Getting old.
nice. Yeah, we're getting older.
Just cut it down.
You're like, it's kind of funny though. At like 7 years as a band, like it was all singles and EPs, and now it's like,
Yeah,
and
no.
you have to go big.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
Well, it's good. You know, we're independent like artists, so we're able to just do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
And so we want to do a body of work pretty much since we started. And you know how it is when you have industry people in your ear and they're like, "But you just put out a single and it's doing really well.
Yep.
So maybe do another one." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, okay. And then you do that for like 3 years, 4 years.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well,
When you hear that with like a lot of rappers, like for instance, Sweetie,
Yeah.
you know, that was kind of how she was like with her career starting. It was like single,
Yeah.
features. And then it's like now for you guys, it feels kind of silly to say 7 years in. This is our debut albums.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
just
and
getting started though, so
Yeah.
it feels good.
Yeah.
And we're able to kind of do a lot of like larger bodies of work and projects that we haven't been able to do before. So it's been cool.
So can you talk about the struggles you guys faced, if any, making these?
yeah. Go ahead, Kev.
I mean, I didn't really face too many struggles because, like, luckily, not luckily, but we used to tour a lot constantly.
Yeah.
And right when this happened was right before COVID hit, and constantly on the road. So from going constantly on the road to nothing, we had so much free time, you know. So
Yeah.
and there being there's 3 of us, it's like easy to kind of operate.
Yeah.
But yeah, the only struggle I really face just when you're sitting in the studio for so long, I eat a lot of Chipotle, and I gained a couple pounds from that. So that's
Yeah,
my
You
only
gotta be careful.
yeah.
Yeah. So body positivity is like what we're all about now.
Yep.
That's kind of our main objective. So we learned through this process.
True though. Yeah.
The challenge was like stepping on the scale and like avoiding it, like not looking at it. Like that was what I had. Yeah, we had to do that.
Genius.
Was it
You know it's gonna be more, but like you don't want it to be. It's a challenge, you know.
Love it.
So share some stories besides eating a lot of Chipotle and avoiding scales. Share some stories of like kind of behind the scenes making these albums.
I think something that was new about it was keeping the visuals and the themes and the production all consistent. You know, trying to, you do have 10, 12 songs. You want all the production to sound
Yeah.
similar and a similar vibe. So, and even the mixes and all of that. So, whereas before you do a song and then you're like, all right, on to the next one, it can sound completely different. I don't care, So, but I think it was good, for the fans and for us to kind of taking that extra step and making everything intentional,
For sure. Well, so I noticed though you guys do a lot of love songs. What motivates that? It's like a lot of love songs. I was listening to all of them today. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 of us, which is good. So some of us might be in relationships, some of us might be single, and then we can draw from different inspiration, you know.
Exactly.
Whereas like Adele, you know, she has to like break up with her husband just to get inspiration, and I would hate that. I would hate to do that.
That's really true.
You know?
Every session is like a therapy session, you know.
Yeah.
So when we're writing, we're able to just kind of let it all out, and whether that's love or not.
Because
You know?
they're about love, but like different perspectives. Like we have one, it's like I hate the feeling of falling. That's like
you don't like love. You're mad at love at that time.
Yeah, and then there's other songs like
were you happy about it? You know.
But why
exactly.
is it that love is like
lean
the
on
main,
me. You can lean on
the
me.
main
You know?
topic for you guys?
I think it's just because life is better with love.
That's true. That's true.
That's,
You know?
no, one of our new songs of Hellraisers Part 3. Tell me you love me, la 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 me, la 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 me. And it's just
I like
because
that
like
song.
if
Yeah,
we
Oh, thank you.
That's a good one. Yeah.
if we don't get told by everyone that we're around that they love us like every day, almost every hour, then we freak the fuck out. Like we start going crazy. Like this guy, you don't want to spend time with this guy.
Yeah, I'm needy, I guess you could say.
You guys say, I love you, daddy. He goes, thank you.
You guys are loved. You're loved.
Thank you so much.
Well, so prepping for tonight's show, you know, what kind of things do you guys do to get ready for a show?
Ooh, well, we're in Vegas tonight, so we got to gamble a little bit. You know, go to a nice restaurant.
Are you up or down?
I'm down right now.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
I am down.
just for now though.
How much?
You still got time, Kev.
Not too bad, like $2,000. So
Ooh.
I mean, it's bad, yeah, but it's not like the worst. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
bad.
it's
It's,
fine.
I'm
You can
gonna
come
win
back.
it back. Yeah, I'm gonna win it back.
You can come back from that.
Is he going to get
I have,
kicked
like-
out of the house? No.
No,
Is he going to sleep on the couch? Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Well, so talk about what else is coming up for you guys. What does the rest of this year hold? What's in the works now that, you know, these albums that you've worked so hard on are finally out?
Well, I guess we're glad that Hellraisers is finally out, and we're starting to dive in on a new project. We're going to be working with a bunch of country artists on a project that we're really stoked about. So that's, you know, like we said, we'd like to just kind of switch it up and
It's inspired
work
by
with,
Stagecoach.
yeah, I mean, I mean, we love Stagecoach. Yeah,
Yes,
you see the hat,
hooked.
you know.
Dude, ever since
we're hooked.
Stagecoach, this hat,
No,
I
no,
don't
I
even think
mean-
you could take it off. I think it's
No,
glued to
it's
his
it
head.
literally has. I'm in character now.
Yeah,
It's like this guy hangs out at Kid Rock's bar once and just
That's it.
There he
I'm
is.
sold.
yeah. So we're just working on that project and that body of work, and we're going to continue to tour. We're doing a bunch of shows in Vegas throughout this year and next year, and yeah, staying busy.
That's awesome. Well, I think I'm going to close with that. You guys have dinner to go to, so thank you
Yep.
so much for taking the time tonight. I really appreciate it.
Awesome.
Thank you,
Appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. What up, everybody? We are Cheat
Cheat Codes.
Codes, and you're watching Last Rockers TV.
Let me see you guys have